Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen speaking today at the American Bankers Association in Washington. Kayla Tausche joins us now with what she had to say. Hey, Kayla.
Hey, Mike. Secretary Yellen today said the banking crisis is stabilizing with deposit outflows slowing down. And she said the U.S. banking system remains sound, drawing a stark contrast to the 2008 financial crisis, which touched nearly every bank. And while Yellen chalked up that confidence to the government's swift and decisive action to keep any systemic risk in check, she said regulators are vigilant and may still need to do more.
It's our intention to remain vigilant in the days and weeks to come. And as I said in my remarks, that means potentially intervening if a smaller bank experiences the kinds of difficulties we have seen that pose the risk of contagion.
Across town in Washington, top bank executives are gathering with the Financial Services Forum, a different trade association, but that's a meeting usually attended by the senior-most government financial officials. That meeting is usually to discuss policy issues, and it's been previously scheduled, but it does come as executives are focused on keeping First Republic Bank afloat and are currently discussing on contingency plans for that $30 billion deposit investment, Mike. And certainly that sale process is underway, but banks want to figure out exactly, what their exposure and their risk is to that bank and what they can do to keep it solvent.
Oh, for sure, Kayla. And, Secretary Yellen's remarks specifically mentioning if a smaller bank were to have trouble. Clearly, there's a little bit of a hesitancy to make these anything that could be read as a broad guarantee, perhaps because, they're not able at Treasury to make such a guarantee.
Right. And she leaned heavily on the systemic risk exception, the fact that the government can intervene if a bank in this situation is found to have systemic risk to the global financial system. That is clearly the determination that they made in the case of Silicon Valley Bank, in the case of Signature Bank, and then in a slightly different fashion regarding First Republic Bank. But she stopped just short of suggesting that, she would support this temporary, lifting of the deposit insurance cap, which is something that's also under consideration here in Washington.